Hey everyone, Jill here for Premiere Basics, a weekly series where I'll teach you the ins and outs of Adobe Premiere Pro. And lately I received some questions about masking. So let's head right into Premiere Pro and start masking. But wait, what is masking exactly? Well, it's basically a way to cut a piece of your video and use it to either make a transition or an effect. So now let's jump into Premiere and start making a simple mask. We'll use this shot of a television screen where we then want to place a clip in so that it looks like it's playing on the television. To start off, we'll put the clip of the television on track number 2 and the other clip we place on track number 1. Then we select the clip that we want to mask, so in this case the television clip, head over to the Effect Controls panel and click on the pen tool in the opacity property. This pen tool allows you to create a custom shape, but you can also use the ellipse or rectangle tool. With the pen tool selected, we can now make a selection on our video for where we want the mask to be. So I'll place a point in each corner. If you click and drag, you can create a bezier. This makes it easier when you want to mask around curved edges. You can then simply use the handles of the bezier to create curved paths. If you have already made a shape and you want to get a bezier on a point, then you can hold Alt while clicking on that point to make the handles appear. Okay, once we connect the final point, you will see that the mask is created. Now only the part inside of the selection is visible, and of course we don't want that. We want everything else to be visible. To change this, select the inverted checkbox inside the mask property. If the edges of your mask are a little bit too harsh, you can feather this a bit, and this will make it more faded. Okay, so now we have made a basic mask, but what if our background shot, so in this case a television clip, wasn't shot on a tripod and therefore had movement in it? Well, in that case we want to track our mask. So now let's take a different shot on track number 2, for example this shot with the sunglasses. Let's animate the mask so that it follows the sunglasses, making it look like it's some kind of a futuristic screen. So first let's adjust our mask real quick so that it's shaped exactly as the sunglasses. To add extra points in your mask, just click on the mask lines while the mask is selected. If it's not selected, it will create a second mask, which we don't want. Okay, now let's track this. First click on the stopwatch icon next to the mask path in the beginning of your clip. This will create a keyframe. To start tracking, make sure to click on the wrench tool and see that the tracking method is your desired one. Then we click on the play button, which is called Track Selected Mask Forward. You will now see that Premiere will start making extra keyframes and the mask will track. You can always adjust one of these keyframes if something went wrong. However, Premiere only tracks on a 2D plane, so for more complicated videos you will have to use Adobe After Effects, since that can track the entire camera movement or environment on a 3D plane. Another example of masking is whenever the mask needs to be animated. For example, when a hand opens up. Now, in the beginning, the mask will have a solid shape, but once the fingers extend, you will have to adjust the mask so it follows each finger separately. Once again, start at the beginning of the clip and place a keyframe with the mask path. Then go a couple of frames further in time and adjust the mask path. Keep doing this until you reach the end of your clip. The gaps between the keyframes, so the part that you actually skipped, will be automatically animated by Premiere Pro. Now, a problem that may occur here is when there is a slight difference in the mask and we have to add some extra points around the fingers. Sometimes Premiere will get crazy and let these points move around randomly even though they shouldn't. Or they can also just stand still even when animated. This doesn't happen all the time, but it can occur, and for that it's better to animate it in After Effects because it's more specific and has a better tracking. And a final masking technique is a mask within a mask. Now, to be honest, I don't really like doing this in Premiere Pro since I often have problems with this. Now, a tip that I can give you whenever you want to mask within a mask or apply multiple masks on a clip is to first make your first mask, then nest the clip, and then apply the second mask to that nested clip. This will cause less problems, but even then it sometimes doesn't give you the desired result. In those cases, I recommend using After Effects because there you can apply a mask subtraction, which makes it a lot easier. So yeah, overall it is possible to mask in Premiere Pro, but it has its limitations. For bigger masking projects, I highly recommend using After Effects, but for the simple masking, Premiere Pro will do just fine. You can also easily create fun animations and transitions with this, like a swipe transition for example. Now, if you want to learn even more advanced techniques about masking in Premiere Pro, then I recommend watching our masking class on Skillshare. I'm proud to tell you that we're among the top teachers on Skillshare, and with the link below, you will get 2 months of free access to it. So definitely check it out. I'll see you guys next week, and as always, stay creative.